100,000 years ago, when a human being had absolutely nothing to do, they didn't scroll. They didn't doom scroll a feed of strangers' vacations. They picked up a rock and started scratching lines into a cave wall. And somehow, that boredom, that same restless, itchy feeling you had at 2 p.m. today, is the exact same neural glitch that built civilization. Two versions of the same species, tens of thousands of years apart, both trying to solve the same annoying problem. What do I do with my brain right now? Let's go back. Way back. No phones, no fire alarms of notifications, no scrolling. Just you, a cave, and a stretch of empty hours between hunting and sleeping. Anthropologists studying hunter-gatherer societies estimate our ancestors spent only about 4 to 6 hours a day on actual survival tasks. Hunting, gathering, building shelter. The rest? Unstructured. Wide open. Boring by any modern definition. So what did they do? Here's what no one tells you. They made art. Not for money, not for likes, but because an idle brain in a body with nowhere to go starts generating its own stimulation. Cave paintings dating back over 40,000 years, handprints, animals, abstract patterns, weren't commissioned. They were the output of pure, undirected boredom looking for an exit. They also told stories. Long before written language, oral storytelling filled the exact gap that television fills today. Researchers studying modern hunter-gatherer tribes, like the Jew/Hoansi in the Kalahari, found that after dark, over 80% of their conversation shifted from practical talk to storytelling, myths, gossip, jokes. Same restless brain. Same fix, narrative. And they fidgeted with tools. Archaeologists have found thousands of prehistoric objects that served no survival function whatsoever. Carved beads, tally marks on bone, small figurines. In psychology, we'd call this stimulus-seeking behavior. Back then, it looked like carving grooves into a bone with a flint. Today, it looks like clicking a pen 40 times during a meeting. Here's the deepest part of this. Boredom wasn't a bug in the ancient brain. It was a feature. A restless mind that refuses to sit still is a mind that explores, experiments, and eventually invents. The same discomfort that made someone doodle on a cave wall is the discomfort that, thousands of generations later, now fast forward 100,000 years. Same brain. Same restless itch. Completely different toolbox. And a completely different outcome. Struggle 1. The reflex is instant. Researchers at the University of Virginia ran a famous study, where participants were left alone in a room with nothing to do except a device that gave them a mild electric shock. Given the choice between sitting in silence or shocking themselves, a striking number of people chose to shock themselves rather than just sit there. That's how uncomfortable modern humans have become with unstructured time. Struggle 2. We outsource the fix. Where your ancestor picked up a rock, you pick up a phone. And here's the mechanism. Each scroll is a tiny, unpredictable reward. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's nothing. That unpredictability is what psychologists call a variable reward schedule. The exact same design principle behind slot machines. Your brain doesn't crave the content. It craves the unpredictability. But that's not even the craziest part. Struggle 3. The fix made the itch worse. Studies on attention and dopamine suggest that constant microstimulation actually lowers your baseline tolerance for boredom over time. The more you reach for your phone the second things go quiet, the less capable your brain becomes at tolerating quiet at all. You're not just filling the gap anymore, you're widening it. Struggle 4. We lost the byproduct. Remember the cave paintings? The carved beads? Those weren't distractions from boredom, they were boredom's output. Today's fix, scrolling, produces nothing. You finish 40 minutes of it and have nothing to show. Nothing you made, nothing you thought through. The ancient version of boredom built things. The modern version of boredom just passes time. Struggle 5. We call it laziness instead of what it actually is. Understimulation searching for direction. When you feel that antsy, can't sit still feeling at your desk, that's not a personal failing. It's the same 100,000-year-old mechanism firing exactly as designed. It's just aimed at a phone instead of a flint. Now, someone always says, But ancient humans had way less free time. They were too busy surviving to be bored. Fair point, but the data says otherwise. Anthropologists studying the Hadza people of Tanzania, one of the last hunter-gatherer societies, clocked their actual work time at under 20 hours a week, less than a modern full-time job. Boredom wasn't rare back then. It was a daily companion. The difference isn't how much boredom existed. It's what people did with it. So here's the shift. Boredom isn't a modern epidemic and it isn't an ancient myth. It's a constant. A pressure valve built into the human brain that's been demanding an outlet for 100,000 years. The question was never how to get rid of it. It was always, what do you feed it? Your ancestor fed it a rock and a wall and got art. You feed it a screen and an algorithm and got a scroll with no bottom. Same hunger, different meal. The people who seem to handle boredom the best today, researchers note, aren't the ones who eliminate it. They're the ones who redirect it back towards something that produces a byproduct. A sketch. A half-finished song. A weird little side project with no deadline. That's not procrastination. That's the same 40,000-year-old itch, doing exactly what it was built to do. So next time you feel that restless, can't-sit-still boredom creeping in, remember, it's not a flaw. It's the oldest, most reliable engine your species has ever had. The only real question is whether you're going to hand it a cave wall, or hand it another 15 minutes of someone else's vacation photos. Which era's version of boredom hits closer to home for you, the cave or the scroll? Let us know in the comments. And if this made you see your own restlessness a little differently, hit like and subscribe so we can keep decoding the hidden mechanics of the human mind together. I'm Apex. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.